Hey everybody, I'm using this video as a short introduction to my channel. My name is Tyler. I have a background in working on mechanical things. Doesn't really have to do anything with cars. I haven't really done anything besides swapping out basic components, rotating tires, oil changes, spark plugs. Nothing that doesn't involve regular maintenance. So this is going to be totally new outside of any... This is going to be totally new outside of anything I've actually done before. As you can see, this is going to be my puppy. His name is Kiva. Say hi, puppy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Here's the puppy. He's a good boy. He's going to interrupt most of my videos because I can't leave him alone because he is the naughtiest puppy ever. Then there's the what. And the what is, we're going to show progression from start to finish. So like I said, my background is in mechanics. I have a little bit of a background in physics and different things like that. Very, very basic stuff. What I want to show is the progression from not knowing how to do really anything to doing a full build from start to finish. And that's just going to be done through learning, through reading books, through my own experiences, probably breaking some stuff that I'm going to show all of it. There's not really going to be any fluff done anywhere. No, watch me try to make it run, and then you don't get a run video. You get 10 minutes of troubleshooting with no run video. Like, why are you gonna tease me like that? Everything's gonna be very straight.
I need you to be quiet. I need you to be quiet. Can you be quiet? What's happening?
The when. So I've owned this car for about 5 to 6 years now. I worked on it for about 6 months doing real basic stuff. I was way too ambitious for what I was doing. I didn't do enough research, and I really was just the cliche. There's plenty of groups on Facebook that you can see, but things millennial call our owner say, like about to slap a stage 3 Cobb tune on it, and then we're gonna be rocking, boys. Whatever. Don't. That was really where I was at. The expectation on what I was doing didn't really fit my goals. It sat for about 5 years while I was living in California. I just brought it back up here. I'm living in the Midwest now, and I've had it since about June of 2020. Right now, as I'm filming this is May of 2021. And so there's about an 8-month lag time behind when I started and when I'm actually starting to crank out this video. Again, interrupting the video. Everything's going to be very straightforward. Everything's going to be, okay, I'm learning how to do this. Let me show you my progress. I'm learning how to do this. Let me show you my progress. Let me show you what I'm doing. Let me show you how much things cost. It's going to give a real idea of how long it is and how much it costs to do a project like this, both in time, energy, skills that you have to learn, and everything else. I already kind of touched on the where. I bought the car in South Carolina about 5-6 years ago. I had to move to California. When I was in California, it sat up in Idaho, which is not friendly to cars at all. There's salt on the roads, there's snow, there's different elements. It got broken into while it was sitting there. Just a lot of bad things happened. And over that time, the car just kind of fell apart. And not only did I feel like it was my responsibility, because obviously it's my vehicle, but as a vehicle that has some historical significance in the car community, I felt almost guilty that I had let this happen, mostly because if I saw somebody else doing this stuff, I would judge them very harshly. So again, it's partly a restoration, partly a build, and partly learning. And this isn't going to be the only thing I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to do other projects. I have other projects. I bought an LS1 about 3 years ago. It's a bare block right now. I have big plans for that. Haven't really decided exactly what I want to do with the overall build, but I have an idea, as well as some other things as well. And lastly is the why. Why am I doing this? I think a lot of people are really interested in joining in the community, and there's a lot of gatekeeping. People asking basic questions, and people just shutting them down. Like, why would you ask that? Why don't you just Google it? Why don't you, this and that, instead of trying to help guide people and show them where to go or where to look, or, being honest about the assessment. People talk about, okay, this is what I want to do. How do I do this? And instead of being like, okay, pump the brakes, there's some other things that you might want to consider before doing that. Here's the literature, here's where to go, and really being open and accepting. I think there's a lot of gatekeeping that goes on. And with that, I'd like to break down a lot of those walls. I think also there's a lot of expectations, like I talked about earlier, even though I know myself, I had to deal with them, where I look at something, I was like, okay, this is going to be easy. This is going to take about 2 hours. I saw it on YouTube. It took about 2 minutes of time lapse to take care of. And that's really just not reasonable at all. Some of these things that you see are done by people who've done it multiple times, and they have the comfort level also to knock it out quickly. So I think getting rid of that as well, it's very time consuming. I can say up to this point while I'm filming this, I probably have about 80 hours invested in just a teardown alone. And that's part of that is because of my lack of knowledge. Part of it is because the time constraints. So I have to start and stop a lot because of things I have going on in my life and whatnot. But there's a lot of things that maybe somebody doesn't consider. So that's what I really want to do here. I want to show when I start, where I'm going to, and where I'm going to finish, as well as, like I said, the skills that are built up, as well as the project where it's being taken from and to, and really just have an honest assessment. Stay away from all the clickbaity stuff. I don't really care about the algorithm. I don't care about anything else like that. I hate that. I hate the dishonesty with that. I hate the clickbaity. Okay, watch it run. And it's like, okay, you never watch it run. They're like, oh, we were gonna make it run. It's like, well, why'd you name the video Make It Run? You know, no different than you see some of these other videos where it's like, oh, we're not experts or anything. It's like, dude, you're doing these complicated works as far as stripping down a whole wiring harness, depugging it, and you're like, oh, you know, we don't really know anything. It's like, well, you obviously have some basic level of knowledge. That seems kind of dishonest, to say the least. So I think I want to be one of the few people to actually go after it. And that's really what I'm all about. I'm really about showing this honesty, showing a progression, and that's the things that I enjoy, and I think other people will enjoy it as well.
In the end, I want to end on a positive note, and that is, I could go on all day about all the things that annoy me and all the things that I dislike, but in the end, sometimes you just got to be the change you want to see. So thanks for the watch, and I hope you enjoyed.
Bitch, start tripping, now I'm blue. Mega man, I can't win for losing, cause I got too many haters, man. Used to be the paper boy, grew up now I'm mega man. Player 1, player 2, show your ass what players do.